So I'm going to do my first offset of 3.19. There it is. I can see that I'm going to need to zoom in on that a little bit. So we'll make that more of my screen here. Something like this. All right. And now I'll start offsetting the various features. I see from this lower corner, I can offset 1.56. So I'll do that. All right. And looking up at the upper right-hand corner, I can see there's a 0.44, a 0.88. So we'll do those. Okay. So let's put those down here for you. That first one, second one, the third one. I'll pull this guy over here. So those were our all the offsets we've done so far. Pull this out. All right. Maybe, I don't know, is that better out there? Okay. Are there any more vertical lines that need to be offset? What about the center of that hole? Is that is that indicated to us? The how far over is that? That is a good question. I am not seeing interesting. Its center does not appear to have a dimension on this drawing, but that's because it is flush with the bottom corner. So it is in other words, it is located by this bottom corner. Got it. So that makes it easy. Okay. Well, let's offset this horizontal line, whatever we need to. Okay, so the first one, which would be the overall height, is going to be 2.5. So that's how tall this guy is. I feel like that line disappeared on me. There we go. And then coming down from there is an offset of 0.75. We could locate this hole in the bottom. We're given its diameter as 1.12. So there's a couple ways to tackle this. Probably the easiest would be to just offset these two outer lines, its radius. So if its diameter is 1.12, then we could just divide that number by 2, and we would have the offset for its center lines. So 1.12 divided by 2 is 0.56. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my offset and type 0.56. Then I'm going to click these two lines. These are the outer, this is the lower right-hand corner of the object, and just offset that distance. Boom, 0.56 over and 0.56 up. And so now I have these two lines, and I'll change them. Those are the center lines of that that hole and the circle. Okay, so that they were 0.56. So I'll dimension these now for you, all these offsets. So this first one from there to there was the overall height, and that was 2.5. And then we went down from there, that 0.75. And then lastly, I did these two to get to the center line, and that was 0.56. Gee, that's weird. Glad I checked those because I must have done them wrong. It was supposed to be 0.56. It's weird. Let me try that one more time. I'll type in 0.56. Up and over. Okay. Yeah, it did that 0.75 because that was the last offset I did. It didn't register my change. Okay. So that should do it. I think those are all the offsets I need to do this right side view, which I feel like I'm going to make my front view. So let's go to the object layer and trace this thing out. So that's the basic shape. Now we know we have an angled line that we need to put in here. So we'll do that. It's a 30-degree line, and it comes out of this corner over here. So I can do that with just an object line if I wanted to just trim it off, which is I think I'm all going to do. So I'm just going to go XL, enter, A, enter, and the value is 30 degrees, and click it right on that corner, and then just trim it away. So trim these bits off on both sides, and then just delete the remainder. And now I can trim away these pieces as well, or just delete that one. And this one I can just drag back if I want. Easy enough. Okay, so that's looking good. I do have this bend here. So that is shown with this line like that. Make sure it's not snapping on the wrong thing there. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Really, the only thing that remains for the object line is to do this circular stuff down here. And we'll do that. So I'm going to go to my circle, click on the center line, and then just bring it out to the edge. All right. I can trim this stuff away now. Make sure it doesn't get messed up there. Get that little bit right there. There it is. Whoops. Let me zoom in on that. You can see what I'm doing. When you trim this away, make sure this little construction line doesn't get you. See, you want to get that little piece there. Delete this one now. Okay. And then the hole, right? So the hole is, we're going to go with the larger dimension, and then we'll put our limits so that it goes 5 10,000 smaller. So our dimension is 0.6255. So click on the circle, click on the center, and then enter 0.6255. Okay. So that is it. Turn off my construction lines so you can see exactly what I got here. That is the right side view. Almost complete. As far as obviously center lines go, this is the only hole, so we've taken care of that. As far as hidden lines go, there is a cavity in here that we need to acknowledge, right? And it also has a beveled edge that we need to acknowledge. So we do have some hidden line work to do. So let's do that. We'll just do that now. So the depth of the cavity inside here is 1.19. So I'll offset that distance. So this line over 1.19. And I also have a chamfer in here, which is 0.12. So I need to offset that distance 0.12 as well. So let me throw those numbers up for you here. So that was 0.12 from there to there. And this one was 1.19. And then I'll just drop hidden lines down through both of those. Okay. I believe that is it for the right side view. I believe that is it. That's all we got to do. Okay. Moving on. So like I was saying, I keep referring to this as the right side view because in the drawing it is, but I am going to use it as my front view. And I'm going to draw the top view above it now. I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit. So in the top view, the overall width here is 2 inches. So that's my first offset. And then this thickness of this piece over here is 0.5. So I'll make that my next offset. The thickness of this round protrusion is 1.5 total, or 0.5 from the other end, so I can just offset the other end of 0.5 as well. The thickness of the inside of this cavity is 1.38, and it shows us that it's 0.31 offset from the sides. So that's our last offset we got to do here is 0.31. on both sides. So 0.31 over this way, 0.31 over that way. All right, so let's show you what we got here. So the whole distance was 0.2. And then the first here was, see if I can grab those, 0.31. And then the next one was 0.5. And it's the same on both sides here. So this is a mirror image basically. That's 0.31 and this is also 0.5. Okay. All right. I believe that's close to what we need to do this. So let's give it a shot, see if we can draw this thing's outline. Looking good. So far, so good. That is the most basic portion of this. Let's deal with the hole now and the cylinder and the hole. So we got to show that in this view. Comes out to here. I need to draw a couple of these vertical construction lines so I know where that is. So let's do that. Put one there and there and there. All right, got the quadrants taken care of. Now I should be able to draw that easily. Okay. And this square, where is this square-shaped slot? Need to show that thing's edges. So it starts here and it goes to there. Okay, so that is the slot. This is the cylinder. How about the chamfers on this end? We have them marked this way, but we need to mark them coming on both sides here. We could use the chamfer tool for this. Just saying, we could. I'm going to offset the 0.12. So we have the 0.12 distance offset here, these, but we need to offset it this way as well. So this line down 0.12, this line, I'm sorry, this line up 0.12. And now I've got the chamfers marked in here to show you what I'm talking about. It's just from this corner to this corner right here. So those are the 0.12 chamfers. And that is a fine way to do it, and just trim out that little bit that's remaining. That's a fine way to do it. But we could have also done it using the chamfer tool. So just as a quick review on that, go up to my fillet command, change that to chamfer, enter the distance. You got to type D, enter, and then say it's 0.12, enter, and then enter again. And now you can just click the two lines in question, and voila, that's how the chamfer tool works. It's especially, if you're doing more than one chamfer, it's useful. If you're just doing one chamfer, I don't know that it's any faster than just trimming it. But if you're doing two of the same size chamfer or more, I would say it's worth the trouble of using the chamfer tool. In the top view, you can also see the fillets that are on these corners. So this outer corner here is rounded and this inner corner here is rounded. So, you know, those are called fillets. So we will apply those. It appears as though there is also a fillet on the inside here of this cylinder where the cylinder connects to the body of the shifter yoke. There's a little bit of a fillet there. And we are told with this note up in the far upper left-hand corner of our project that all fillets and rounds are 0.12. So we will assume that. So we got 3 to do here. Let me zoom in on that top view. So the note tells us that the fillets and rounds are 0.12. So I'm going to go to my fillet command and say R enter and change that to 0.12. And then this guy here, this guy here, and it would be visible from here to here. Now this is going to wipe out this line, which is not a problem. We can just click on it and then drag it back. Okay. So now we've got all of our fillets and rounds and chamfers, and we're looking good. Finish up this top view with hidden lines. So the hole goes all the way through. There it is. Whoa, extreme zoom there. Okay, I think we're looking good for the, what I am calling my front view and now top view. And now I need to do my right side view. Interesting. What is going through my mind now is, do I do a right side view? Do I do a left side view? Do I do both? I don't feel that there is any reason to show in the right side view, which would be kind of the back side view of this thing the way we have it. But so I'm going to do a left side view. I think that would be more useful. Okay. So rather than do a right side view, I'm going to do a left side view, which on our drawing would be the front view. To do that, I'm going to make a 45-degree line here. Negative 45 or positive 135, depending on your reference. And bounce these guys down. Okay, let's see what we can do here. adding in a couple extra horizontal lines where I know I'm going to need them. And that was where these vertical lines here intersected this angled plane. I know that I'm going to need those. So I just put in these here, right there, right there, right there. I'm going to need this one too. So all of these guys coming across, wherever every intersection on this angled line basically needs to be brought across. I'm also going to need to bring across the information for this cylinder and this hole. We'll do that in a little bit. Let's take care of this view over here. Now, this is fun. The way this chamfer is, it's going to be interesting, uh, to say the least. Watch what happens here. So this is the main trough on the inside, this big slot, whatever you want to call it. But because this outer, the front is chamfered, it's going to do this kind of thing. So this is the beginning of the chamfer here. And then it goes to there. And then this would be trimmed out. And I'm just going to grab that line and drag it back rather than try to trim it all off. You know what? I am wrong. Both edges are visible. Sorry. So that is what that would look like right there. And then the same on the other side. So what we are seeing right here, this face is the chamfer, this angled face. And then of course there is a little line segment here to here and here to here. So yes, this is this most narrow face is the chamfered face. This corner needs a little treatment. This corner is going to be filleted. And what's interesting is the question is how much of a fillet? It's not, and we're going to get into this when we come back. What does a fillet look like when on an angled surface? And the truth is, it does not look like it does in the top view here. It does not look like a perfect round. It looks like an ellipse. So we're going to go over that in a lot more detail when we get back. But for now, we're just gonna fake it and just do the standard fillet. All right. But let me tell you, that is not correct. Okay, because it is not. The standard fillet has an equal round, but it is not equally rounded. In this view, it would be more rounded in the horizontal direction than the vertical direction. It would create an elliptical round. But again, we'll go over that in a lot more detail when we get back. So as far as the object lines are concerned, I believe that is that. So we'll move on to hidden lines. This guy is going to come all the way down. We have the edges of the cylinder. So basically the entire cylindrical feature needs to be drawn with hidden lines. So a little bit of a pain. So let's do that. We'll bring these construction lines across so that we can do that. That's the hole going through the whole thing. This is its outside edge. Of course, we don't put that little piece there. We also have the bottom of this notch to draw with a hidden line, so that would be from here to here. We should represent, if we're doing this accurately, we would represent this connection from the cylinder to this wall with a fillet. So I'm going to do that because that is what is actually required. And then bring this line, continue this line straight down, or this line straight up. So you can see I have this little fillet in there, and that's because just like we did in the top view up here, the cylinder connects to the body of this with a fillet. I believe that's it. I'm going to turn off my construction line so you can really see what's going on. It was kind of fun. I gotta say, doing that that view was definitely the most tricky. I believe that's correct. Oh, you know what? One little bit of incorrectness. So I got the fillet on this side. I need it in this corner as well. So let me go to my fillet tool and get that from there to there. Look at that. So that was necessary. Okay, so there you go. Because there's an inside round there and an inside round there. Same on the, just like you see on the top view. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to look at this a little more after I dismiss you.